let's make this an interactive session, not just like a lecture. So, what do you think is copyright? You don't have the right to copy. So the thing is that when you create an artistic work, you take any photo, you create music, you create a video, you do some work of text. You automatically get some rights given to you that this is your work. You have the right to decide how to use it. Okay? So this was done under the Berne Convention. So it gave you 3 basic rights. You don't need to go ahead and register something. Okay? You don't need a sheet of paper to tell you that this work is your copyright. As soon as you create it, it is copyright. Okay? You also don't need to mention all rights reserved. This was something which you had to do earlier under the Buenos Aires Convention. But under the 1886 Berne Convention, a lot of countries which are under the United Nations, you don't have to do that any longer. Okay? But the problem with copyright is that if you want to distribute it to people, then it's a very complicated framework. Let's say you are the creator of some work and you want people to be able to use it freely or distribute it freely. Then how do you do that? Under normal copyright laws, what you'll have to do is you'll have to grant permissions individually to people that, okay, you can go ahead and use my work or redistribute it. Let's say you create something and you want people to be able to use it under certain circumstances in a few defined areas. See, GPL, MPL, these are more oriented towards software. Okay. So Creative Commons is something very general. There are Creative Commons versions of GNU GPL also. But Creative Commons is directed more towards normal stuff. Like, you click pictures, videos, music, text. So if you could go to the next slide, it's everything is automatically copyright, as I said, under the Berne Convention. But you can still go ahead and do a registration. What it allows you to do is, in case copyright infringement happens, then you can easily show to the court that I have this registration, this is my work. Even otherwise you can do it, but then you'll have to use circumstantial evidence. Okay? So, so the Creative Commons thing, next slide. Next slide, next. Okay, so what Creative Commons allows you to do is that if you have created something, then it gives a standard legal template under which you can give people certain rights. So, next slide. Okay. So, what are these rights? These can be used in particular combinations, but what I'll do is, I'll explain each combination individually. One part of each and every right is attribution. So under this particular license, what you say is that you can go ahead and use my work in any form as long as you give me the credit for it. Okay? Next slide. So let's say someone takes a picture and licenses it under a Creative Commons by license, an attribution license. Then you can use it in anything, even in a commercial way, as long as you provide them the credits. This was actually done by Virgin UK Mobile. They put out some ads, they took Flickr pictures and they put them on buses and they gave credits to the authors. Okay. The other option you have is called, next slide, non-commercial use. So if non-commercial is there in any particular license, then what it means is that you can use it as long as the use is not commercial. Okay? So for example, if you just want to use it in a presentation like over here, this is non-commercial work. But in case you want to actually sell it as a book or something, let's say you publish a novel online as a PDF and you publish it under a non-commercial license, then you can reuse it as long as you want. But as soon as you try to publish it and sell it, you won't be able to do that. Okay?
I have a question on detail of non-commercial.
Almost every website now at least uses Google AdSense. Okay? It does not matter whether they are actually earning from it or not. So does that qualify as commercial usage or not? That's a valid question which has been asked for a long time. So it's being investigated. I mean, it's never been put to trial on a court till now. This kind of particular thing, if there's a website using AdSense and then doing that. It's covering the cost. What attribution is, I'm explaining. So when a Creative Commons, then what does it mean? Let's say you click a picture and you release it under a Creative Commons attribution license. Then all they have to do is attribute to you, but they can remix it also. Remixing means, let's say you're creating a collage of different photographs. Then they can put it in that collage. Okay? But if your work has a no derivative works clause, then what happens is you can just use the image as it is. That's it. You cannot even type text on top of that, because that becomes a derivative work. So that is what no derivative means. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, share alike. Okay, share alike. What share alike means is that, so if you have something like Creative Commons by share alike, then you must again release it under a Creative Commons by share alike license. Okay. So the way this works is that, let's say I release some music under Creative Commons attribution. You can go ahead and use it in a commercial song also. Okay. And further on, you can use any license. You can use GNU free documentation license, whatever you want. But if share alike clause is there, then it must be a compatible Creative Commons license. That is what share alike means. Next slide. Next slide. So there are different combinations available. Just exit this presentation. I explained all the terms to you. There can be 11 different combinations possible, but out of these 5 are redundant. So there are 6 different Creative Commons licenses available. The first one is CC BY. You can use this for commercial and non-commercial usage. What you can do is you can copy the thing, distribute it without permission of the author. Adapt and modify it. License it to others under different licenses. Creative Commons attribution non-commercial. You have to give attribution to the author, but you can use it only for non-commercial purposes. See, what we are doing is we are moving from the least restrictive to the most restrictive as we move down the grid. Creative Commons attribution share alike. This is a bit more restrictive. You can use it for anything you want, but it must be a Creative Commons license again. Compatible one. Creative Commons license. Attribution no derivative works. What this means is you can use it anyway as long as you want, but you can't modify it in any way. You have to redistribute what I have made as it is. Creative Commons attribution non-commercial share alike. You have to give credits to me. You can use it for non-commercial work, and you also again have to release it under the Creative Commons license. So, and the most restrictive license of all is Creative Commons non-commercial no derivative works, which is you have to give credit to me. You have to use it for non-commercial purposes, and on top of that you can't modify anything. So basically the only thing which you can do is that you can distribute it to others as it is. Right? Now, why would you want to do this kind of stuff? See, open source is an ideology. It just does not end at coding. Okay, you have loads and loads of licenses, differences between that. Eclipse public license, GNU, Affero, you have Mozilla public license. So, the whole open source ideology is that you should share knowledge and allow others to, leverage on that. The presentations which I were using were not created by me. They were created by someone else who published these under Creative Commons licenses and gave others the right. It's a license from the author that go ahead and do these particular stuff, but it's something on top of existing copyright. So in case, let's say you release some music as non-commercial, attribution non-commercial, okay? You have a band, you release it as attribution non-commercial. So those who want to listen to your music, they can listen to it. But if some company wants to use it in any commercial format, let's say they want to use it in an ad jingle, something like that, then they can get in touch with you and you can directly license it to them. So you have every right which is there under copyright, except that, the hassle of individually giving permissions to everyone is cut out of the loop. For permissions beyond the existing usage, you can always contact the author and seek their permission. Ki I'll give you royalties, or I'm just seeking your permission. Can I go ahead and use it in something which is not specified over here? Yeah.
Can you probably you need to have some.
You need to have
You are saying
reserve. You're keeping some rights to yourself, and you're giving permission to others that you can use it in these particular cases without taking my permission individually. Okay. What? Next one. Go to the next one. You have something called public domain. Under the Berne Convention, there's a minimum copyright period which every country is supposed to provide. Like it's 50 years for text, 25 years for images, that way. But countries themselves can internally give you a longer copyright period. Like India has something like lifetime of the author plus 50. Lifetime of the author plus 50 years. Okay. And it can sometimes be extended. They took some exceptions, like in the case of Mahatma Gandhi's works and Rabindranath Tagore's works. So, once the copyright period expires, the minimum 50 years which every country is supposed to provide, which is under the United Nations Treaty, then the work is supposed to go into public domain. Anyone can use it. So, if you have something like, let's say, Sherlock Holmes' works, right? Those were written in 1800s, 1900s, right? So, now the copyright on them has expired. What happens then is it goes into public domain and anyone can use them any way they want without seeking permission from anybody, right? So in case you want to do that right now, you don't want to wait till you die or 50 years later to give people that permission. You don't have to kill yourself. All you have to do is, you don't have to commit suicide. All you have to do is license
What
it.
about translations of words? What kind of licenses do that come in?
Translations of words. See, translation would come into a derivative work, right? So, if it's a derivative, work. That the law is very clear on that. It's a derivative work. So, if the Creative Commons license says that derivative works are allowed, then you can go ahead and do it without asking permission. But if it does not say that, even if it says no derivatives, then what you can do is contact the author, ask him, can I do it? And then he can provide you the permission on a case-by-case basis. Okay, so what I was talking about, you have something called Creative Commons public domain. Public domain is a statement from you that I relinquish each and every right that I have under copyright law. You can do it, use it in any way you want. So this is a big step to take. Most people don't do it, but you have an option if you want to. Yeah, so this is like no rights reserved. Next slide. We are under the Creative Commons attribution license, which means when I use it, I have to show this. Okay? So why would you want to license your work under Creative Commons? This must be the question that you want to ask. So the point is that
I have a different question.
Yeah.
Attribution license.
attribution license.
Right. See, most of the people out here have a presence on the web.
Yeah.
They have a blog or whatever.
Yeah.
So suppose I have a blog where I use your content that just has the attribution license. So do I say, is it by, that this work is done by Ankur B, or do I have to link